I'm gonna video this. Everything I've seen so far, I've looked online about how to get these out. The videos start with the arm's already in the air, so I'm just gonna video this. If I screw up, you'll see me screw up, and you'll see how I do it. While I'm doing this, this is a Tuxedo lift, and you can see that here. I bought this in 2016, I believe. It's a cheap Chinese. I paid $1,200. I think they're $3,000 now, but there it is. TP9KAC, 9,000 pounds. Today is February 15th, 2025. So I've had this almost 10 years. It's been great. You can see that I've got some leakage, some seepage here. But the main reason I'm doing this is on this one, anytime it goes up, I can see that coming out. I tried, I thought it was that. I thought there was a seal there. From the videos I watched, that's just a breather for the piston. What I have bought is this kit off Amazon. I think it was like 30 bucks a piece. Excuse my mess. I have ADHD, so I have tons of stuff going on with a baby out. A newborn in the house. I'm getting a little break. So see this model number, there it is. And it says it's for the TP9KAC or TP9KAF. I think that's one of mine I just showed you. So I bought 2 of those. I figure I'm gonna do one, I'm gonna do the other. So here's what I've done so far. And I said earlier when I was looking at these videos, I want to record this because no one's got. I can't find anyone showing how to get that in the air. One person did say they used their forklift on their tractor, but I want to try to do it without my tractor just because not everyone has one. But let's see how we do it. All right, so I used my crescent wrench or my croissant wrench and disconnected that, and then I used a brake master cylinder bleeder valve here with a cap that comes in one of those kits that you get from Advance. So I've capped that off, and I caught my fluid there. And then with the piston arm, I didn't expect there to be much. It was more than I thought there'd be. I figured it would just be nothing in there, just because it's all the way down. I just used a I don't know what you call it, plugs. This is more of just a collection of plugs from things, hydraulic wise, that I just save. Anytime I get a power steering pump or AC compressor, I put the little caps in it with it instead of, or power steering rack. So here's where I'm at now. That's all I've done. And I tried this, it didn't work. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is try to get this up in the air here. I tried dropping down and lifting it. I didn't budge it. But all I've gotta do is just get this chain here off. And the video I saw, this here comes off, but it doesn't matter if it does or not because this piston comes out. So all I've got to do is take this chain off, and I can lift this up and out. I'm not sure how much this assembly here weighs. I was thinking of doing this first, and then if that didn't work, getting something under here to get it up a little bit and get my jack under there. So what I'm going to do now is pause this, come back and let you know if I was able to get the, well, let me just try. There's some slack there. One-handed. Hopefully my fingers survive this. Looks like I can get it. Got you. Got it. All right, I'm just gonna drape the chain here. Also, so from what I've seen online, this cylinder just pops out. Yeah, looks like it's just gonna pop out. Now I've got that pipe fitting there that's feeding the hydraulic pressure, so that could be an issue. So I'm gonna need both hands for this. And what I'll do is I'll come right back to this. All right, back. It's been about 25 minutes of frustration and just lack of information. So let me tell you what I tried first. I tried to take that chain off and just let it drop down there. That didn't work because when I tried to bring those up, it got wedged. which slowed it down. So I took these arms off, which I figured that would help when I lift it. This is the pin. Only thing holding it in is this pin and gravity through here, which sits through here. So that was easy. I recommend doing it. It's not that hard. Then I tried lifting it. I tried lifting the other side. What I had to do at one of these metal ropes, steel ropes, pulls down when the other one's pushed up to keep them balanced. So it's like a tension, push-pull thing. So what I ended up doing was just breaking this one free, taking these nuts off on this side. And you see it's dangling right there. So that freed it up, which is also why the one cable kind of is poking out. Hopefully I haven't screwed that up. I don't think so. And then I jacked it up. I don't think I need the jack, but I just wasn't sure at the time. But I just jacked it up, got that jack stand under, and then I just kind of squat cleaned it, got it to sit on one of the safety pins. And then after that, I kind of just clicked, ratcheted it up to there. I think that's all I need. I think that's the only spot that I need to be able to access at this point. So next up, I'm gonna take this cylinder out and see if it comes out super easy. And let me just grab a rag. I took my gloves off to do this because they were busted also. Oh, as you can see, I had some metal out trying to pry it up and down. And so that didn't work. Now, what happens if I grab this and just pull it out? That's heavy and awkward. Just comes on out. So that should be good. I mean, that sits cars on it, that lever. So I'm gonna get this out and get it disassembled, and at that point kind of just go from there with what I did see on the internet on YouTube. All right, just get you caught up as to what I have done. There was a C-clamp, or whatever. I'm tired. And the block thing there, here. Take those two out and set them to the side. And then the video I saw, a guy used a drill bit to go up in there to turn it. It was doing more damage than anything. So I took a plumber's wrench, hooked it on there, and then turned it, but I wasn't getting, it was just turning the whole cylinder. So I just took my 2-pound hammer, whatever size this is, heavy enough, and tap the back of the plumber's wrench until it loosened. I pulled the cylinder out, some scratched. I don't think so, they just paint. So now at this point, I'm taking this out. Let's see what is in there. It's supposed to be, according to the video I watched, there's supposed to be a seal here and 2 seals at the bottom. And that, here's my setup. This is my vice grip, so bench vise. And this does not come off. It's welded on there, so, which I don't think is a big deal, because this is just all gonna come out. Once I get this cap out, all right, I'll come back once I've got this cap out, and if there's any issues, I'm gonna pull it out if there's not. All right, she's coming out. I had to go straight up and out and took out that. So there's that. And look at this. Lovely. Ugh. Yeah, it's been leaking for a while. I've been putting this off. Probably 2 years. But it's been lifting up fine. No issues. Looks like I picked the right time to do it. I wonder if there's an issue with moisture getting in, maybe just from the leaking. Maybe I should purge the lines, and I think probably moisture in the hydraulic pump. So I'm gonna pull these off, and then I'll just use some ivory cloth and get that surface rust off, and then reassemble it. And I'm gonna let that fluid drain out of the hydraulic pipe over there so that I can put fresh in. All right. Making some pretty good progress, I'd say. All right, so I found some problems. If you look in there, you can see that seal is dry rotted and cracked. And this is the cap. And then also one of the seals on the side of the plunger. Here, it's dry rotted and cracked. I took this out. I used my DeWalt Big Mama. That's a 30 millimeter to get that nut off. I got them out in order they came off of, and then they're gonna go back on bottom towards the end. So there's a O-ring there that needs to be replaced, but otherwise I'm gonna wipe this down and reassemble. I'll if I had to stand, I'd show you, but I'll just come back and show you what it looks like next. All right, so I had to put her to hurry up because the wife was saying I need to go get dinner. So I just want to update you. The parts that I thought were broken probably weren't broken. If they were, there weren't replacements for it. So let me pull this out. So what I ended up replacing was this piece, and this piece. This was under the bottom plunger. This is on the end of the plunger, and this was the sleeve at the end of at the top. What I had left over were these two O-rings, and I hope I got the right ones. I know that there's nothing here that this replaced, so I know that's good. This here came with two. I compared them, they seem to be the same size, so I wonder if the other kit has, the other lift that this works for has the same type of, I'm gonna pause this. All right, so I wonder if the other arm that it works for has two O-rings, but you can see this is the new kit. I just opened it while I was on pause. These to me are identical in width, diameter, and so I put one on. This one just popped in the sleeve, and then this one didn't go in. This fatter one went in. I first put it on this way. I couldn't remember, and it wouldn't like stay on, so I flipped it, pulled it back off, flipped it over, and it fit. So that's what I ended up doing. The two pieces that I thought were broke, I don't think they were broke. I guess they're just maybe like to slow the fluid down. Like it would kind of look like piston rings. So I just put those back in because I didn't have replacements. And they both sort of look to be the same sort of angle. So I just kind of figured those are both. And it was rusted. The plunger piece was rusted on the inside and the outside, and then so was the cap. So that's installed. And all I did was slid it back under, slid it back in, put that piece back in, and it's back in, and it just kind of fell into a hole at the bottom. While I had it out, I wiped out as much fluid as I could. I want this drain, and then over here all I have is to lift that one up, and then I'll do that tomorrow. But what I do need to do here is get that chain back up and over, because when I tried to lift it before, it just kept falling, and then as it fell and I lifted it, it just kind of got into a wedge. So this one's not leaking that I can tell. If it is leaking, it's just seeping down here. You can see it's wet, but nothing like over there. Over there it was just pouring out, like you could see it. And then when I'm done, I'll just reset everything balance wise, and I think that'll be it. So all in all, right now it's 5:32. I think I got out here at 3:29, 3:30. So 2 hours to figure out the first part. So the second one will be a bit quicker now that I've figured out how to take it apart and clean it. And then I might, next time before I get set up, I might get my Dremel in set up so I could wire wheel it and maybe put a little sanding end on it, and that'll help. And then I'll probably YouTube how to purge this out. I think probably all I'm gonna do, I mean, I'm sure that just goes up and over, so I'll just disconnect it from there, let it fall. Well, it's probably already fallen out into the reservoir. Maybe I'll just take air, just blow through it. And then this one probably just have to unplug it, let it drain. It was real low, and the day that we're waiting for the call to the hospital, I filled it up with hydraulic fluid. So it is what it is. This thing was cheap, it works, and I'm interested to know if this side is going to be as rusted as that side, because if it is, I need to figure out why. It could just be moisture and condensation getting into the hydraulic fluid with a leak. I'm hoping, my hypothesis is that this side is not going to be as rusted because this side had the big leak. And if air and fluids coming out and it getting past the seal down there and coming out, then I would assume that water and moisture and humidity is getting in and going down there and sitting in. So, because when you let that down, it pushes that arm all the way in, which means it sits down there and could pull in water and moisture, and then when it comes up, pushes it out. So, but it's probably been leaking, like I said, I think 2-3 years, probably longer. I just, been just ignoring it. So, that's where I'm at. And then, so maybe if I get some time later tomorrow, I will knock this one out, and then all goes well, we'll be good. And I think when I put this back together, I'm gonna just kind of give that little emery cloth and then put some grease on it, some silicone grease, and hopefully that'll help. And I think I can fix this. I saw the lever here. I don't know if you can see it from up under here, but see that moving? I think it's just something like a screw or something. Some type of a swivel that probably just is too tight on this side, or just needs to be lubricated. So, all right, that's it for today. All right, it's been a week or so. It's now Friday, and I pulled the arm back out just to verify that I installed it correctly. So this is the one I pulled out of the other side, and I was like, I don't know if I did that one correctly, and just out of an abundance of caution, I did. And when I pulled it out, it was a little tough to get out with the pressure. So I think I did a good job there. And you saw it was rusted before. This was after sanding it with some emery cloth and with my Dremel tool, getting it just not perfect, but just as good as I could. And then, so this is the other one that came out on the other side. It was not as bad, you can tell. It still has a little rust. It was gooey, and I think that's probably a byproduct of just the fluid coming out of this arm going back in. So I'm gonna dump the entire reservoir and refill. No use in using the old fluid, and I probably should change the fluid probably more frequently than every 10 years to keep from having to do this on again. But this was the guide here that sits right there, so you can see that it's got a little rust on it. Focus on it. A little pitted. And I'll clean that up. I think what I'm gonna do is sit these in some parts cleaner until tomorrow. I just kind of snuck away to do this because there is a tool. Now on the video that I saw that I thought was this particular model, there was a pin here, and there was something that you rolled it out. And earlier when I recorded that he was using a screwdriver, that's because it was a different style. This is a twist out. There's no retaining ring or anything. He had something, I went back and watched it. His model had something where you had to move something aside, and then you could pull out this pin, and then this cap just came off. Well, this doesn't have it. So I bought this off of Amazon. I Googled it, did some more research. This is called a spanner wrench for hydraulic arms. And essentially what this does is it just pops in on the side of here, like this. Allows you to get your torque and pull it off. It took me no time to do this one. I did it while I was sitting in that's why I didn't take it out. I was like, let me try it first. So This was like 40 bucks. There's different varieties. TikTok Shop had some. But I got one that I could use multiple different sizes and because it adjusts and it's auto adjusts. So that came out. So that I wanted to add was something different than before. And I think I got the right kit. Anything else that I've learned so far? Just no. I mean, I think maybe if I would change the fluid more frequently, it would be. It wouldn't be this bad. But this one definitely not as bad as the other side. And these two, this here, that I thought was broke earlier in the video, it wasn't broke. This is just the guide. This thing makes sure that this is center. That's all. They are replaceable on some kits. For some models, they come with the kit, and mine didn't. So yeah, I just put those back on, and what I'll do is I'll just finish this up later. But I just want, while I was out here, snuck away, come out here and just check that wrench. I was kind of aching. Haven't been out here at all this week, and the kids are gone again. So I just wanted to come out and try it. Worked like a charm. I recommend this Spanner hydraulic wrench. That's what I searched. Highly recommend it. It's probably cheap Chinesium, but all right. I'll update when I'm finished. I took a few more minutes out, and I did dump the fluid out at the bottom. You can see all that old fluid that's a mixture of rust, and I guess, and here's where I dumped it in there. It's not terrible, but it seems like it all settled to the bottom. And then on the filter here, you can see that build up there. So yeah, definitely I think what was happening was it was just getting pushed back in from the line over there. So this here, I'm assuming this T-valve is a straight through that pumps, pressure comes out here, goes up to that side and over down at the same exact time. So I'm gonna take my air hose and just sort of squirt from that down there. See what happens on the other side. Can't show you. Maybe I'll show you the aftermath.
Yeah. They didn't buy it, but there was two.
All right, I think I'm in the last stretch here. I got both arms rebuilt. Everything's done. I think as good as I can do it. What I'm gonna do is push both of these up in the air. I took the reservoir off last night, took it into the house and into the bathroom, into the bathtub, cleaned it out real good, and have put it back in. Put 2 gallons in from Tractor Supply. That got me to about there. So then I went to O'Reilly's to get some oil for my mother-in-law and just picked up 2 more gallons of their version. Different colors, but hey, if it's hydraulic fluid, if it screws it up, oh well. You'll learn from my mistake. I'll update you, but I don't think it's gonna mess it up. Everything I read online was just as long as it's 32. So both of them say hydraulic anti-wear. AW 32 here, anti-wear hydraulic oil. ISO 32, but right below it, anti-wear. So I think we're gonna be good. So what I'm gonna do, I didn't fill it up to max right now, just in case there's some in the line, 'cause I did push it for a second just to see what would happen. My plan right now is to get these up in the air, the actual lifts up in the air, so let's do that. Then push the hydraulic arms out just below here, push it in, and then lower them so that the chain will sit right here, and then send it back up in the air. So bear with me, I'm gonna try to just muscle these up in the air. I can't do it. So I'm gonna turn this around just to see if you can sort of see. And if not, then I think you can see. That's on my phone, so. that cable right there is kind of getting bound up, so let's see what I can do. Nothing. I'm just gonna leave it right there. All right. Also, I've got to lift. I couldn't find anything in the manual. I found the manual about bleeding it. I think what you have to do is push fluid all the way through, extend the arms. When it comes back down, it pushes the air back through the hose and it bleeds out the reservoir. So let's see. Alright, that one looks lined up. Let me just gonna put the chain on this side just to hold it in. Once it pops up, it's what you probably can't see, but it's popping up a little bit at a time. Once it pops up inside of it, I'm gonna come swap the chain around. Alright, you might have seen that one move. It's inside, so I'm gonna push the chain back side of it. That wasn't a good deal. Let me lower these arms if they'll come down. See if there's no weight on them. And there's new seals. See if I can muscle it down a little bit. Some air in there. Instead of trying to force it around the side, because it's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches wide, so there's not much bending this. I just pulled it up over the little clip and then I worked it over. All right, now keep going. This one's about at max over here. Make sure this chain's going up. So the way it should work, and since no more fluid can get past this new seal over here, fluid should then just only go up and over to here and balance out the fluid. Just keep making sure I'm not underneath this in case it were to just fail. Alright, look at that. Let me. Could be low. Could have gotten too low on here, so let me pour a little more in there, just in case. Worst case scenario, if I put too much in there, it's just going to just come out and go hole. So, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. It definitely sounds dry. Maybe that's all that goes in. Okay. See if I can pull these levers. It doesn't sound like it's any tension on it. And let's let her down. Maybe to force it down. Because there's no, maybe air in lines. This, not enough weight on this. That might help. I'm going to grab a bungee cord so I can hold the release handle down. Alright, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's starting to drop. I got the handle held down by a bungee cord. So now I can, since it doesn't have these weights on it here, the arms, I can force it now, but slowly. I didn't get to check to see if it was leaking. I don't see any leaks actively coming out. So when I go back up and put these arms back on, and I go back up, I'm going to check and see if it's leaking again. If it is, I'm just going to deal with it. That's going down. The issue is the cable as well. You gotta be mindful of that because it's looped up in here. Let's see if that helps any. Once it gets down low enough, I can pick this cable back up and install it. But right now, I think it's just kind of working its way in and out and getting the air down. And there's, like I said, no weight on these arms. on it here, it's fine. Chain is hooked up good there. Let's see that. Now, one more time. Alright, now that this chain, this cable here, I can run it up, I think. This way. Still can't see that well, so let's keep going. While we're right here, I'm going to show you something. I need to check this out. Sorry. This is a latch that won't ever latch. So I have to go up and down, up and down. You can see right there, I think it gets hung on that spring. So once I get this sorted, I'm gonna come back to this and figure out why I have to go up and down and get it latched. And I'll come back to that. So, all right, you've seen what I'm doing. I'll come back. I don't wanna waste your time. I'll get it down and back up. All right, I'm up. I've come back down. I've gone back up. No leaks. I don't see any active leaks. It's damp down there, but I did spill a lot during the installation and removal process. I put a lot of grease. I got those pins wire brush down. I got a wire brush while I was out. I went to the Tractor Supply. I can't find that one. Somewhere that pin is here in the garage that I've put it somewhere and I'll have to find it. But looks like everything's up in the air. I don't see any leaks coming through. Like I said, I think the entire sealing process happens down at the bottom. This is just a dust cover, so if it's coming up here, it's getting past it. I did adjust here. I'll drop it back down and show you what I did to adjust it. And basically all I did was just take the pin off and lubricate it. Oh, we're gonna go slow. She's coming. Well, let me get back to the bottom and I'll lift it back up. They go, but a lot faster. All right, so back down, but it's been a minute. I spent the last 30 minutes looking for that pin. Finally found it over there on top of that jack stand. But I cleaned up a little bit, so that's good. Friend John came. So what I'm gonna do is raise it back up and show you what I did to fix this. Oh. And I got the latch here done, so let me unlatch that. So I took that pin off, took that off, used a screwdriver because it did kind of shoot up in there, and just greased it real good. So far I haven't had any problems, but if you listen, you'll hear the one over there just hit right after the one over here. Oh, that was together. Out together. Seems like I got them pretty level. Let them sit down, they sit at the same time. That one dropped a little bit lower over there, so I need to lower that one a little bit. I want them to be going up at the same time. So what I'm gonna do is lower these down to where I can reach that bolt up there and then tighten them up. All right, not sure where we left off, but I did get this back on, got it done. The amount of fluid I put in the reservoir was good. It was perfect, just about. I got my mother-in-law's car on the lift. It's in the air. We did tighten down the straps and took a level and cut it across. We never could get it to be 100% perfect, but it's fine. And no leaks that I can see over here. Nothing's coming out, nothing pouring down, gushing like before. So I would say successful. I think I told you I found that pin, and I think everything is going to be good to go. No leaks for now. Should be good for another 10 years. Just need to make sure I change my oil. I'm going to write on the side of here today's date. In 3 years, I'll change it again. Maybe that'll stop it from happening again. But overall, not a terrible job. Started it Saturday, finished it today. Probably could have done it a lot sooner had I not lost the one pin. But not bad for one day's work getting this done. So I'll drop it down. So again, this Tuxedo lift, I made some mistakes in this one. You just watch the video all the way through, and get some grease there. Not sure what that's about, but maybe I'll put some more grease in there. But it always makes a noise like that. Not usually that bad. So, anyways, hope this helped. And it's probably all over the place for you, but at least it gives you an idea what you need to do for the Tuxedo lift. Thank you, and have a good one.